Am I the asshole for walking out from a barbecue, hosted by my boss's boss, after I overheard him and his wife say some mean things about my nationality and faith? I am an Indian guy who works in the U.S. office of a large Indian IT company. Software engineers from India try to supplement their incomes by going on site and working in US, UK, EU offices. Plus, it gives us better opportunities to network and further our career growth. I arrived in the US on an H-1B visa 2 months ago, and I might stay here for up to 2 years. My boss's boss held a barbecue at his place on Sunday. I am a Hindu and a vegetarian, so I made sure he knew in advance. I also asked if I should make my own food arrangements, and he replied that Sue, his wife, will take care of it. We have some vegan folks joining us, he said. And I said, all right. Sunday was a disaster, honestly. When I arrived, I could only see a ton of meat and a little bit of mashed potatoes, and a pasta salad that was all but finished. I did not arrive late. A lot of people turned up early and nearly finished the only 2 things I could eat. The vegans were nowhere to be seen. I grabbed a beer and socialized for some time when my boss met me and asked why I was not eating anything, and I told him what happened. That's Sue for you, he said with a sigh. Turns out she had made the same mistake before. And before I could stop him, he walked into the home and asked her in a loud voice what she had prepared for the only vegetarian guy here. She looked at me and said something that I could not hear. Then he walked back out into the yard and told me they were not expecting me as the vegan group canceled. And she thought I was one of them. His boss, who by then had a few, tried to get me to eat a burger, and when I refused, he said, "Don't be such an uptight idiot." I tried to explain that Hindus don't consume beef, and besides, I am a vegetarian anyway, so I do not consume any meat products at all. His wife then walked out and said, well, there's nothing he can eat. And I said, that's fine, I can eat something later. She then asked, who asked you to come anyway? I replied that her husband said she would handle it. She then raised her voice and nearly yelled, "You are not listening to me. I just said there's nothing for you eat here." And then she said something along the lines of, "These bloody Indians make our lives difficult every fucking time." And then to me, "You should not have come here because we just slaughtered your holy fucking cow," and pointed at the grill. Turns out she had a few too. A few people joined in the laughter, and I just smiled and walked out after wishing them a good day. My boss asked me to stop, but I just said I would see him at work the next day and walked out. The next day at work, I was asked by my boss to apologize to his boss in writing for walking out after he had graciously invited me. His words, not mine. I said I will apologize when he does for his and his wife's behavior. Honestly, it did not matter that there was no food left for me. I would have had something to eat later. But their behavior was appalling and totally unwarranted. He said, "You better apologize soon, else he might make things difficult for you." I refused and stayed at home today. I am planning to take this up with HR, but a few people in the office are saying it was insulting to my boss, that he has to ask me to apologize to his boss, and that I should apologize just to keep the peace. Your thoughts, please? Like and subscribe.